Hello, denizens. I just finished watching Apple's WWDC21, so you won't have to. The sacrifices I make for my denizens. My overall impression was that I had no idea who this presentation was for. I was confused. I will say that Apple keeps introducing new department and development heads with every presentation and every video. Other than Tim, Kevin, and Craig, either Apple has a ton of management that they're hiding, or they have a brutally high turnover rate. This was an extremely tedious presentation, but not because the presenters were bad in of themselves or what they had to show wasn't of interest or of value, but it was way too long. 1 hour and 47 minutes of bloatware. It was as if every department wanted its say and Tim couldn't say no. iOS 15 was the star, I guess, of WWDC, but it was thin gruel indeed. I don't care about iOS, so I'm sure that contributed to my boredom. Developers are very interested in iOS, I guess. I'm sure there is more money to be made there than on macOS. I don't care. WWDC is about Macs as far as I'm concerned. The thing is, it just did not feel like a developers conference. Other than Craig mentioning the SharePlay API, a quick bit on Swift and Xcode Cloud, was there anything even remotely programmy in it? Look, I watched this once. Don't make me watch it again just to point out how wrong I was, okay? I don't care. God, it was tedious. The presenters were well dressed and looked great and presented well, but for sure it did not feel like a conference directed at developers, and perhaps that was Apple's intent. They've done this before, using these events as a way to bludgeon us with new features and services. Maybe it was useful as quick peeks at new capabilities, but it's not as useful as live demos. And on the other side of the coin, they've got the general public. Why would they tune into a nerd fest? But the computer press will dutifully recap everything to the Apple fan base, as will YouTubers who make their living off of Apple's entrails. And in no way am I intimating that Apple should have trotted out the lead programmers of these technologies. Heavens no. But the spokespeople, at the very least, should have indicated whether the stuff they were talking about had an API available the way Craig did with SharePlay. I mean, it was the Worldwide Developers Conference, for Fugaku's sake. I've decided to jump around to the things that interested me. Tim proudly mentioned Learn to Code, Apple's commitment to be a force for change. Unless you want to fix your own gear, whereby Apple wants to force you not to change, so they can force you to give them your change. Holy crap, those animated memojis behind him were bloody creepy. Craig Federighi came out and started the iOS 15 announcements. He showed layered multi-person FaceTime, and all I could think of was how Apple, along with Google, really missed out on the group video chat biz that Zoom and Microsoft Teams are now fighting over. Then came almost an hour of sharing announcements. Everything can be shared. Photos, music, videos, TV shows, each other. Holy sweet Jesus, this stuff is getting ridiculously complex. But I will say that sharing music playback with a friend while you're FaceTiming clearly works for a specific generation of which I am not. Hey Barry, I'm just streaming the remastered Mott the Hoople album. Want to share? I won't be sharing movies or TV shows. Funny Bull Terrier videos, yeah, I will share those for sure. Now, I do want to talk about the extra photo sharing features of Messages, or as the rest of the world still calls it, iMessage. Yeah, your iMessage photos will intelligently populate your Photos album. You know what I would like? Being able to create and switch between multiple photo galleries, Apple. All the new Focus holistic Zen stuff was cool. I mean, I get it. It has a feature that lets you be fully focused and present at dinner with your family. Here's my trick for being fully present at dinner. I turn my fucking phone off. I will say I was impressed by the live text feature that OCR'd any text in a picture and turned it into links. I liked Apple Wallet's transit card feature, but it ain't coming to Toronto anytime soon because we paid billions of dollars to a criminal consulting company to give us this piece of crap Presto transit card that we'll have to use till we're dead. The Apple Maps update was cool, and now it looks like SimCity. AirPods conversation boost that helps people with mild hard of hearing. That was sincerely impressive. I'm going to mention iPad OS only because of the big deal Craig made about bringing widgets to the screen. Really, Craig? Just announce it and move on. Don't embarrass yourself. Oh, and the new multitasking assistant? I don't know if it will be better than the confusing mess it is now. My wife yells at me to come downstairs and get rid of all those split screen applications that she had no idea how she initiated and can never figure out how to get rid of. Windows 10 still does this way better, Craig. Quick Notes. Really? We needed Quick Notes? The privacy stuff was good. Nice Safari and Mac Mail updates, blocking tracking pixels, I like that. My favorite iCloud feature, however, and about time too, the ability to designate a family member as an inheritor of your iCloud account in case you die, or heaven help you switch to Windows. I mean, this was a long time coming and good for Apple. Until you've had a parent die and had to deal with their electronic detritus, you have no idea how bad it is. Hide my email address, creating random alias email addresses for shopping was a nice addition. The health and medical stuff took up a huge chunk and I fell asleep during it. I will say that the medical tracking announcement, being able to track the health of your aged parents and your young children with health problems was fascinating and scary at the same time. Look, I get it. It's the next big profit center frontier and Apple has really doubled down on it. I just wished my Apple Watch would stop telling me I had fallen when I hadn't. Apple has snagged Jeanette Jenkins, a fitness superstar apparently. I sense a bidding war between Peloton, Nordic Track, and Apple. They'll be going after all the star workout fitness personalities who I don't know. Will Jane Fonda be brought back from retirement? How about the 20-minute workout girls? 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. That's it. I'm exhausted. Finally, we get Mac OS, the new Mac OS. It's going to be called Monterey. Your Mac can now be an AirPlay device. Woohoo! Shortcuts that feature no one uses or knows how to use on their iPhone will be coming to macOS and replace Automator at some point, a feature I always use. They debuted the new Safari, and I have to say, I like what they did with the tabs management. Each one expands into its own URL field, very clever. But the best part was the addition of tab groups, which kind of replaces bookmarks. Apple has observed how most people never use bookmarks and instead just fill their browser with 30 tabs. One time I accidentally quit Safari on my wife's computer and she was ready to kill me. Now we have tab groups. Genius. So Mac OS Monterey got about 1% of the total event time. Clearly, Big Sur was the massive macOS development orgy for last year's WWDC. Monterey is just a bag of frozen peas on your nutsack because you're still chafed. Xcode looked great. Compile in the sky. Beta test anywhere. So that's it. I have to say, if Apple had made it clear whether some or any of the announced things had anything of value to developers as they were presenting it, it would have made the show more relevant, but maybe that would have made the show even longer, and that would have been bad. I give WWDC21 event video a 1 out of 5. Oh, I forgot to mention concurrency, one of the new features in Swift, which is an absolutely fantastic feature and a boon to programmers. Oh, maybe the show wasn't 1 out of 5. Maybe it was 2 or 3 or, I did quickly zip through the video just to do my video, and there really was a ton of stuff, but I think the problem, it was just too long and too much to go through and too much to try to digest. That was ultimately the problem with the video. There was a ton of good stuff in there. So I'm still giving the presentation overall a 2 out of 5 because it was too bloody long. But man, I don't know what to say. I'm confused. Good night, denizens. Good day, or whenever you're watching this. I don't care. Be seeing you.